Yes. Let's start with open PRs. Ooh, lots of things. Welcome to the Foundation Infrastructure Working Group meeting. We're gonna start. What was the last thing here?
Fix some linting stuff, I think.
The linting errors were shown here.
It was updated today.
Good thing we lent that vendor directory.
That's weird. What was the error before? Those I do not see. Let's recap. That's why can it not import that? I mean, this is definitely PCAP related, right? It has it in the name, so ideally,
Yeah,
they would look into it. Yeah, what's that doing? Can I link to lines? Oh, not to multiple. Okay. I mean, this is good, I guess. Okay. So waiting for changes. Where are we? Approved by Aaron. Who else was there? What was the next action on this one? We looked at. Did we skip this one last week?
we were supposed to merge it when.
It's waiting for a review from Rajan.
I think I pinged him on it, but
oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah, and he said he didn't probably have time to look at it. But Aaron took a pretty thorough look at it, looks like.
Yeah. Also, this is
Yes, some suggestions were made, some were fixed, and there was like one thing that
So it is a new command. I'm just looking at the risk, right? So if it's all in one command and not changing anything else, then
I think that was the feedback I got from Aram when I chatted with him. He was like, yeah, it's opt-in. So like you got to put something in your Bash RC, I guess, or something to use it. So pretty low risk.
Yeah, it's pretty low risk. I'm okay with that. Ah, conflicts. Um, is that it? Next.
I just saw that there was an issue raised by Aram Price with Bash.
Yeah, but that was more. He thought it was more due to his setup than it was.
Okay.
I mean, people can improve it, right?
Yeah. Still, he's approved. Seem to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, I think it has been open for a good amount of time. People have looked at it. Got some people using it. There's some what's it? Homebrew recipes stuff, right? For the Bosch CLI. Would be great if someone could update that to use this.
Well, we should add it to the APT that someone within VMware that is supposed to be an APT.
There's almost nobody who cares about Linux. I mean,
I'm not happy with the way you're talking to me right now.
The APT repository was maintained by Stack and Wayne at the time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, at the time it was, but there seemed to be an APT repository for the CFCLI.
Is the Bosch CLI in there as well?
No, and I tried to, because nobody knows who is maintaining the APT repository for CFCLI. There is some magic pipeline.
Perfect. That's the best supply chain security, right? If nobody knows where it is.
Yeah. What I can do is, in the end, I can set one up in GCP. It's fairly easy. You can now do it nowadays with S3 buckets. So
I think the Stack and Wayne one was set up like that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great thing. Okay.
Yeah, it would be nice if we do that again, because it's really annoying to download it every time when there's a new version.
We have 2 approvals here, right? Yes, so we can just merge.
I also just ran the linter on the pcap command branch, and it ran fine and built fine. So might have been a flake, or it's a linter thing that only happens under Linux, which could be because the linter is weird.
CLI generated secrets. Ah, that's the small one.
But it has 2 approvals.
Oh, great.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Another one. Wait. Oh, this is the
That's the
same.
same.
Was just not updated.
But this is the one.
This is the do not merge.
Yeah, but we can.
I think we talked about this one last week, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've forgotten what's checked of the PR.
This was the config server, so it's gonna generate.
This one is fine.
Yeah, this one is fine.
It'll affect the Bosch CLI, but that's just affects the NAT CA, not any of the generated NATs things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, as you said here. Okay.
I didn't say it with much confidence, but I said it.
Yeah, I mean, your name is attached to that statement, so it's fine.
Last week we talked about 2 feature flags for the NetCA generated and duplicating the entries, the permission entries. That was it? Okay.
Yeah, that was for the other side, the director when it generates
The
stuff.
director, yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I try to propose something.
But also these calls are recorded, so you can just watch it back.
Yeah, that's right. We are YouTube video stars.
Yes. That's what I keep telling my children. They don't believe me. This was also a while back. We discussed this. Whereas this was last week.
This is about populating OS information if it's defined in the runtime config.
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Wow, 3 approvals.
Ooh, it's a really good one.
Ah,
It's docs again. I don't know. People get really happy when they can approve docs.
Easy point.
so I didn't check that, but I just realized to what Joseph has said. I didn't verify. It's not, but
Which statement from?
I think it was in
the
Slack,
link
but
to Slack is given in the description.
Oh, this one.
Yep.
And I didn't say it because I knew it. I said it because I went and looked it up in the code because I had no idea. So there's some validation happened.
So I'm relying on your validation.
Well, three people said it was okay, so
So 3 people said it's okay. Joseph looked at it but didn't approve it, but
All right.
it's
Yeah.
okay, right? We can just go ahead.
He was definitely a lie before, so it's got to be more close to the truth, like docs should be.
Yes.
So we,
oh,
So I've just done the review, actually. I was a bit late and I just did it. I've suggested a new implementation for the include exclude. Yeah.
This part, right?
No, the one below, actually. Decision equals applies, and it's exactly like
This one. Yeah.
Yes, based on that. I should modify this comment actually because it gives two alternatives, and the first one is not the right one. Sorry for being clumsy. Yeah, it's decision equals applies or and not applies.
Okay.
And for add-ons, it's this exact code that is done, and it's quite easy to read.
Perfect. Thanks for that. So this is still waiting for changes.
Yeah, here I'm just waiting now for the second review of what's his name? Actually, I don't know.
Chris.
Chris.
So-and-so.
Ah, yeah, exactly. So we had some comments. I replied back. Yeah, let's see.
Okay. Yep. And Aram also has comments.
Yeah, but what was
You
it?
didn't-
Yeah, it was that Go imports is yet not used or configured in the linter jobs. Meanwhile, he
see.
did that. Meanwhile, he
Okay.
did that.
So you can also
Yeah.
look at it again and see. Okay. Then, wow, so many. Do you have context on this, Joseph?
I only know that Brian talked about it at some point during one of our team stand-ups, but I have no idea what it was. Some issue he ran into and found.
And now I need to go look at it. Robots. Okay.
But Brian doesn't work in the Bosch team?
No, he
He's-
does.
Yes, he does.
It's
All right.
it's just the
But often Brian will do stuff not while working on the Bosch team in the vSphere CPI because that man loves vSphere.
he has its own lab in his basement, or I don't know, maybe even like in his living room. I don't know. Yeah.
But he's not exclusive. His home Bosch director running on vSphere is multi CPI and has every IaaS CPI deployed to it.
Excellent.
He finds all the multi CPI bugs.
Oh, that's a small one too.
We should move you to the docs working group.
yeah.
Oh, we already have approvers. No, we have assigned people. Just have to look at it. But this is from last week.
You can add me to it. I'll take a look.
Sweet.
But with the amount of docs changes that we're making, does it make sense to reach out to the docs working group? Maybe because they might want to also review these types of things, like for style and stuff.
Bosch documentation has never been reviewed about style.
Since when do we do style?
I don't know. Yeah. I'm fine. It's also
kind of
it would
free
delay
riding.
things maybe. Yeah.
They don't all own our repositories. I mean,
Yeah, they are not in their working group, so I don't know. I mean, it's fine this way, I guess. Any review. No description. But documentation. But I mean, like the titles.
Yeah, we told Felix to add some description, but he didn't add any. No.
Yeah, we probably want to link the PR, right? So this is related to, wait, here.
Are the docs ready for review? If there's going to be changes to the, were the changes requested in the global stuff just the internals, or was it part of the config interface? I guess, is this docs PR still correct if they make the changes that have been requested? I'm guessing so, actually.
You can edit the description, yes.
The changes were to the logic, right? It's not the actual interface.
Yeah.
Right, so that should be fine. And we could already start reviewing. We just need to make sure that we merge it after the other one is merged. More docs.
Oh yes, that's a small one. I also. Yeah, Barbicap instance. This folder exposing structural information about the where the VM is in terms of Bosch thinking.
Yeah.
That's historical.
I'm wondering if it's put in the correct way to. Wouldn't it be more correct to use the template functions? Which you want to, right? Like the same information you can get through the instance in the template when template rendering.
Definitely some of this, possibly all of it, I think. And that probably, I don't know which came first. I'm guessing maybe this must have been first and then templating came after this. This was the old way of doing it, but yeah, it might be good to make a note here that like, that is the newer way, although.
Yeah, this information is there, but like
no,
ideally
it's not newer. I mean, it's different. It's just that one is happen at ERB rendering time, and one is just present on the VM so that any script that can access those information.
But any script that gets on the Bosch VM has also been rendered. Or is it like a package? I mean, I'm just trying to understand like what the use case is, right?
Maybe
That'd be-
packaged scripts indeed.
Yeah, so something in a package. Yeah, that could be.
This should be precise here. I've never thought of that use case. And yeah.
Or something like the pcap command that's like driving something from the outside, knowing that this is here would be useful.
Sure, that's also true.
But so the preferred way should be during rendering. If not possible, then this
Yeah.
option is available. Maybe we can make it explicit in the text.
Yeah, I mean, if you have like some sort of CLI, like the CF dot, right? Like some tool that you want to use to like analyze something. Like if it's a binary that's executed for debugging purposes, it could be looking at these fields.
Valid use case.
Yeah, so there are valid use cases. It's more like most of like probably 90% of the use cases should be handled by template rendering instead.
Should we add those use cases to that new piece of documentation?
Yeah, might make sense to call it out there.
You're doing it, or I'm doing it?
I mean, you created the PR.
Okay.
I mean, do you want me to leave a comment with that? Asking for feedback? Or
no problem. Fair enough.
I mean, I'm fine either way. Like, I mean, it's already an improvement. It's just like, I think if you're gonna touch this piece, maybe makes sense to add that as well in one sentence.
Definitely, I agree.
Okay. But is it already being reviewed? I didn't assign reviewers.
That's the big one.
Oh, wow. How many commits are it? So, wow. That's a lot of changes.
But actually, some of the things I've added here are they just mean to induct some refactoring in the director code base, especially what is at the end, the very last piece is all the yes, down below, a little bit downwards. After that, deprecated properties. In this section, it's everything that, especially after line 430, spec.job and stuff is really crap that should not be here. So I've documented it because it exists today, but in fact, we should remove those from the spec object.
I'm surprised to learn that there's this much stuff on the spec object.
And the spec job, I really don't know why it is here, but it was, yeah, it was by the time in VoshVN when jobs meant instance group. And yeah, we don't need those information. Instead, we would need the real job name. The name of the job that is currently being rendered. It would be nice so that we can make templates that don't need to know in which job they have been copy paste. It would be useful to have snippets that can adapt to whichever job they are copy paste to. And especially the last one, properties need filtering. That one is is the best. So yeah, we should not expose all that.
Yeah, I'm wondering. So this SHA is just coming from the database, right? This is not computed. Or
Yeah,
not?
it's just that there's an array of jobs that arrives here. I don't know why. I don't know what was the use.
What would be the use case of this, right? When would you want to use this?
For me, it's really a lack of filtering, because there are other properties that are filtered out yet already, but this one is not. I don't know why. Maybe it has went through reviews and refactoring without anyone noticing, but there is really no point in exposing that.
I suspect a lot of this was just leakage from like reusing internal data structures to be like, here, template, render yourself. The properties are in here, and there's some other stuff too.
I have some refactoring of this piece of the director code where I've seen a lot of job meaning templates and templates meaning job and things unclear stuff like that. And so I will submit it later. So I think it has not been noticed because of this this in-between situation where job, we are not sure, maybe job means template, template means job, we leave it like this, just we don't know. Let's not touch what is working.
Does it make sense to extract this into an issue instead of putting it in the documentation?
I think so, yes, definitely.
Joseph, I see you are not convinced.
I mean, it's all in there right now. Doesn't seem bad to document now that these are things that are there. You shouldn't use them. They are deprecated, but certainly makes the docs better.
That's true. Okay. Yeah. So a lot of work went into this. Great. Really nice.
Yeah.
So yes. Okay. That's waiting.
And especially also because there were a lot of small details that I wanted to check and verify in the code. So
yeah.
We've seen that.
Yeah, but I didn't move it into Discord.
Okay, we've just talked about that.
Yes.
Ah,
that's a thing we discussed last week, right?
Indeed.
It's not a big change, just
nobody remembers of the Ruby agent.
It will break a lot of our pipelines.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, especially the stem cell pipeline. But we can easily fix that. I can.
So Joseph, do you remember? Does this also like affect the? I mean, we could also read, like, this is just the file, right? The file name. So we could always, like, if it breaks us, we could rename it ourselves.
Yes. Yeah. I think we already have plans to do that with when this goes
Yeah.
through.
But I think this is the right thing to do. Because we want to get rid of that. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Or people will now think we are going back to the Ruby agent.
No agent.
Do a
is-
Ruby seminar, and now we are converted back again.
There is an argument to be made that like we should do this for what is coming up? Noble shipping next year. And leave, Jammy doing the old stuff, but yeah.
So we could put it in the wish list instead, right?
Then it's still because this is not Ubuntu, Jammy, Noble, Bionic specific.
It will affect all.
Yeah.
What ifs are for?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine with doing it now. It's if people are concerned about it, we could, try to branch it in some way.
I would just do it in one go.
I don't know, like Behan, it's also like you all are consuming this directly, so I don't know how many pipelines this will affect on the SAP side. So we still have our own pipelines that publish, right? So our customers do not directly consume from Bosch.io. I'm assuming you all are. I mean, like the internal teams, by the way, like all the component teams, they will probably be affected by this.
I think
A lot
most have already converted to use the Bosch.io artifacts, right?
Yeah,
From the
it's
resource.
it's probably just CF deployment, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Bosch. No, we have Bosch deployment that's consuming a stem cell. CF deployment is not consuming a stem cell, or they are for their compilation, but it's not.
Well,
We don't put it stem cell name in
we
the
can scan it
manifest.
in our GitHub repositories, just globally for
And,
we scan for dash go agent, see if someone uses it.
It could
I'm-
be that we must also adapt our pipelines,
Yeah.
but I mean, that's not a big deal, right?
Sure. It's just, I don't know, like the question is, are we gonna force everybody to update their pipelines just because we noticed something in the name that we don't like, right? Like it's
In theory,
then-
if people are using Concourse, the Bosch.io Concourse resource, by default, it gives you stemcell.tgz, and it gives you a separate file with like, this was the name of this thing. So hopefully people are already using that stuff to not actually care, hard code, like this is what I expect the name to be. But
Yeah, if they figure out it fails, then they hard coded it, which they shouldn't do. So they should fix it anyways. We just
Yeah,
helping them a bit.
that's a good point. Like if the Concourse resource keeps working, then probably most of the people are fine, because that's what I'm assuming 90% of the people use to consume resource Bosch.io stem cells.
yeah, because the name already has the version in it. The file name already has the version in it. So it's like you're already having to grab something and figure out the name. So it seems unlikely that it seems unlikely that a large percentage of stuff has star go agent.tgz somewhere. I know our code that we send to customers is terrible, and we actually parse out the file name to figure out the version, the OS, the infrastructure. Yeah. So we'll have to rename it, but we also have work in flight to fix that.
Oh, I see. But you always
We started
are
before this,
so-
thankfully.
You're always so positive about that piece of code. It's like you have so much love for that piece.
I've been trying to kill that piece of code for at least 8 years now.
Okay. I'm convinced. I think it's okay. Let's wait for someone else to also think that.
I will make a PR tomorrow for the stem cell CI repo to just
Yeah.
connect it to this.
Talking about stem cells,
Are there any news regarding the FIP stem cell? Because
Well,
I'm working with Johan on the part.
there was supposed to be a release for the FIP stem cell like in half an hour ago, but apparently I messed something up. It's not getting the proper files, so it will be done at the evening, in the evening, or maybe tomorrow morning. It's already the end of my day, so yeah, tomorrow definitely there should be a FIP stem cell release, and I hope it will be just that you can get it. It will be not visible on the Bosch IO, but you can get it still from the API endpoint. That's the idea. So I hope I get that working tomorrow. Canonical still has not released their FIPS
packages.
FIP stuff. So
yeah, I checked yesterday because yesterday is the date that they said they would have it. Didn't work, and I've sent an email. Bayon, maybe you can also through your channels try to get the next date, right? Like I think they also set the 15 to you all, right?
Yeah.
So-
We can try to get update on this.
Can you comment somewhere in the Slack channel or in order Johan to be informed? So,
about what? About the FIPS
about the
bits?
FIPS, yes. Well,
Yeah,
or-
Ramon, can you post something in that channel if the stem cell is available?
couldn't hear the
And-
last part. Sorry.
and how and from where to consume it actually?
Yeah,
Because
that's what Ramon is working on, right? So we're
Mhm.
working on putting it on Bosch IO, but not public. Like, so there's gotta be, it's not in the public listing, but if you know the URL, you can find it. That's the idea.
And then you still need to have the credentials.
Yeah, you still need credentials to be able to actually download it. So,
Mhm.
and we need to share those credentials or distribute those credentials to
All right.
the deployment working group. So the expectation is that that's maybe done tomorrow, right? And then that stem cell will still not have the FIPS bits in it, so it's basically just a normal Gemmy stem cell at this point. But then over time, as in hopefully next week or something, if Canonical publishes their bits, there will be a next stem cell in that same place that will have FIPS packages in it.
Yeah, I hoped it was today, but
Yeah.
Ramon, can you update Johan and Dimitar tomorrow when you?
yeah, as soon as I will put it in the Slack channel, as soon as I have the location that it's on Bosch IO and the API and the API endpoint, I will just give you the whole documentation of how to connect to it.
Yeah.
The only thing I still need to figure out is how are we I think we should just create specific users for each working group, which then can access it. So they have their own set of credentials per working group.
Yeah.
That's, I think I should pass. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Okay. And who would manage those credentials?
Currently just
Should-
manual, I think.
Yeah, no, sure, but like, do we can Johan manage or put them in the CI or on the deployments working group front? Who would be the one managing the credentials and putting those in CI? Dimitar.
Not sure. Need to discuss it with Johan.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, someone from the Netherlands doing something with Azure?
Dude.
Docs again. People are reading our docs and they find them wrong.
And there is a lot of wrong with it.
That's why they were down yesterday. Too many requests on the
too many
Yeah, I think
document.
everybody was reading and reading, right? Like,
Should we also do what we did with the ultimate guide of Bosch, that we just put in Bosch IO, that they can immediately in every page that they can do like edit and that they can make a PR?
we already have that, right?
Do we?
Yeah. There's in here.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's why we get so many PRs.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that.
Me too.
Okay,
It's
so
not
you learned
user
it.
friendly.
I was definitely
something new
inspired by
every day.
Tectonic
I
Ultimate
think
Design.
it's something you get from this thing, like the make docs
Hmm.
project.
Yeah.
Let's try to get through these. Yes, so this already has people assigned. Yes, this one.
This one's a follow-up one. I think Chris added the reviewers himself.
Mhm.
But yeah, we redacted some secrets and then people were accepting that work. And they're like, there's a bunch more secrets in there. So
Interesting. Even more documentation.
Yeah, this is about the disaster recovery process. We managed to have a Bosch, which we presented also in the CFA this time I did it.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
That's our experience.
I looked at this. I would recommend to focus on the technical part. I think there is too much about the setup, how we have it, which is, I think, not important for the documentation.
Like more focus on changing the how the games adjust to the manifest or ops files or whatever. So more of that.
Yeah, technically what's required to recover the director, and I think we can stay with the create env use case, because there are two use cases, create env and Bosch, manage Bosch. Now, if you have for one, I think the manage Bosch is also clear how it should be.
Ben, I've assigned you as a reviewer.
Yeah, can you add me also? I will take a look at that. And it's great that you wrap the long lines in your text. Could you do it at 78 columns? Oh, never mind. I will put it in my comment.
Oh, people with their editor preferences.
But we beat all the records about docs changes. We have to do maybe a call about all doc changes.
Yeah.
In the community.
There's even issues.
Oh, bytes, kilobytes? Dude, did
Go
we
see that.
solve that a million years ago?
Oh, this is going cigar. This is Mac OS specific.
So nice. Who's that guy? Someone is using Go Cigar. Come on.
Yeah, we have that sometimes. Like it's used in all sorts of places apparently.
It would be an inconsistency between platforms for that specific Golang function?
I mean, like that's what I'm.
It's
So it's
the
an
implement-
interface.
the implementation relies on some command, CLI command, I guess.
Nice.
Hmm.
I don't know. Is
It's in
Must be why they made an issue rather than a PR. They wrote a lot of code for like, look, here's an example. That was less work than a PR if they knew where this code was. And I think we know why they don't know, because it's hard to find.
Yeah.
I think it's the implementation is in Cigar Linux or Cigar Darwin.
Why didn't I find those?
That's right.
There it is.
But why would have Darwin a different byte conversion than Linux? It would be super weird.
These are BSD commands, BSD implementation compared to GNU implementation. They have some differences.
This is it, right?
I guess so, yes.
Bytes to string.
No, it doesn't compute the space of it, the disk space. What's that?
Here it
Why
got
why
this
debugging going on here?
Yeah. I mean, how else to respond? I don't know. Can you make a PR to fix it? I mean, that's the alternative.
Yeah.
Okay, I will spend a bit of time on this, but not in this call. Yeah, this is the overarching. So this is basically signs, right? And this is prioritized and being worked on. This is just as an umbrella so that we know or that we have the context. Right, no, this one. How do you all feel about this? I think Xenial we would like to keep, right? Because we are still using the stem cell builder. Otherwise, we have to fork.
This was more for the to-do list for when we go to the new, because what we're going to do is copy the whole branch again for the new Ubuntu version.
And before that, we would like to clean up, right? So we're gonna put this. Oh, you put it in the wish list already.
Yeah, I put it already in the wish list, so I thought would meet more like for okay, this would be a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, good. And then we're gonna put this to open for contribution.
But I also think we can remove the Xenial part at this point.
I think we have still till.
Yeah, but it's the idea was all the time when we put all those conditions in there is because we want to have
We are
one
actually on
major
that branch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Xenial branch, right? So yeah, you're right. This could go away in the.
Yeah, the idea was always to have one master branch to rule them all, but we never went that route. So yeah.
Oh, you're right.
I don't know how we fix this.
Is this something we can do with a wish list for the new stem cell?
In theory, we sort of need this for reproducibility of builds. If you ever want to build an older stem cell, like you can't use this PPA, but at the same time, we're using packages from this PPA that aren't available in the default apt repositories. So,
yeah, and otherwise we need to build these specific. The issue was do we still need these specific packages, and if so, should we otherwise then build it from source instead of this PPA?
Oh, it is already in the wish list. Good. Just put it to open for contribution.
You really think it would be easier to build from source than use the PPA?
No, it's
more reproducible.
Oh, not at the same time, please.
More reproducible.
Because that PPA deletes everything except the most current version. It's if you need for reproducibility to go back and build an older stem cell, you just can't. You can't get those old versions, which is something that we've talked about needing to go in that direction.
Okay, get it.
Yeah, the same problem in the end will also be with specific version for Debian. So some Ubuntu packages are also deleted at some point. I think there are some cleanup. I don't know on which rate and how long it will take, but.
Does anybody have any contacts in this? This SAP? This is the Bosch S3 CLI. Who is using a Bosch S3 CLI?
More importantly, who's seemingly using it manually?
Yeah, that's like, I mean, everybody is interesting.
Like I got this config JSON. It's like you made a config JSON manually.
Why?
As you can.
He's asking for a change in the README, right?
That's my understanding. Yes. I really want to know what he's doing.
Feel free to respond with questions about why.
What are you doing?
I have to go to another meeting. Thank you all.
Next
yes.
Tuesday we have the TUC and we have to provide update for our working group. Joseph, do you want to make this?
I've never been to a TUC meeting. I have no idea what these updates consist of. So I could provide one in the future, but I should probably go into those meetings if that's a thing.
Just talking about what we did in the working group, like the highlights, like because you are closest to the backlog, or we know what happened in this working group, but you also have like insight into
those meetings are recorded, right?
Yes.
I'll go watch an old one. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.